Football is back, baby. The 2024 season starts today, and that leaves me with one question. How are the Raiders going to disappoint me again this season? It's all a joke, of course. I only have high hopes for the Raiders every year, like every other Raiders fan does. I thought it'd be fun to do some weekly picks, make videos out of them. I do the Pick'ems League and the Fantasy Football app, so I thought let's just make some videos out of these. Let's start off with Thursday Night Football, the kickoff of the season. Ravens at the Chiefs. This is going to be an interesting game. AFC Championship rematch. I think the Ravens will win. I want the Ravens to win. We all hate the Chiefs, but we all can respect Patrick Mahomes and his insanely godly quarterback skills. That defense is pretty scary, but I think the Ravens will have the upper edge just because they're just so explosive. I understand the Chiefs can be explosive, but I think they have more down moments than the Ravens do. The Ravens are just so explosive. That offense is just insane. So I think the Ravens are going to come out on top this week. I'm not going to be super in-depth like other football analysts do. I just do this for fun. So excuse me if I, don't go super in-depth in all of these. Up next in the Friday game in Brazil, we have the Packers and the Eagles. The Eagles and the Packers had a very different seasons last year. The Eagles started out strong, and then they whimpered out in the second half of the season. The Packers started out weak, and then they upped it up in the second half of the season. They are the first NFL team to be the 7th seed and win a playoff game. It was against the Cowboys, and it was hilarious. Although I despise the 7th seed as well as the 17th game, if the 7th seed can bring us a loss to the Cowboys in the playoffs, then I see it as a win. So, who do I think will win this game? I'm going to give the edge to the Packers. I like Jordan Love. I don't think the Eagles will get out of that slump that they got into at the end of the second half of the season last year. Although I like Jalen Hurts, I like Nick Sirianni, I like how fun the Eagles can be. I just think the Packers seem like a more well-rounded team, and I really like Jordan Love, so I'm going to give the win to the Packers. Now, our Sunday games. We got the Steelers at the Falcons. I'm going to give the edge to the Falcons because I think Kirk Cousins will do enough to beat the Steelers. Although there is a high possible chance that the Steelers and their magical bullshit of Mike Tomlin and that strong defense, I think that will give them the edge. Although I don't remember who's starting quarterback. I think it's Russell Wilson who's starting quarterback for the Steelers. I just don't think Russell Wilson is as strong. He did better last season than the year before, but I honestly think that Kirk Cousins is going to do just enough to outshine the Steelers this Sunday. Although it could be really close. I'm going to say it's going to be a really close game. Next, we got the Cardinals at the Bills. Now, this is a no-brainer. It's going to be the Bills. I'm sorry. That offense is just too explosive. Josh Allen is amazing. Top 5 quarterback in the league. And the Cardinals are just a weak team. There's no other way to go around it. I'm sorry. Next, a very hyped up game. Titans at the Bears. I'm going to give the edge to the Bears just because the Titans don't really excite me. They haven't excited me since Ryan Tannehill had that amazing 2019 season. And it was weird how they got the first seed, the season after that? I don't remember. But although I don't think Caleb Williams is going to be super dominant this season like everyone wants him to be, I think the Bears are going to come out with the win. But I really think Caleb Williams is going to have a wake-up call into what the NFL is going to be like. It's not going to be college. Everyone's going to be more rough. And you're stuck on the Bears. I'm sorry. Although I think the defense got a little better over the offseason, I really don't think the Bears are going to magically be good this season. They're going to be better. I just don't think they're going to be as good as they think they're going to be. But the Bears are going to win this game. Next, the Patriots at the Bengals. This will be the first season without Bill Belichick. It's Gerard Mayo as the head coach for the Patriots. And the Bengals, they're the Bengals. They've been good. Joe Burrow, it took me a while to remember that quarterback's name. It's just because he was injured last season and he's inconsistent in, being healthy, being injured. They had that awesome 2020 run to become, Super Bowl runner-ups. But since then, they really haven't done a whole lot. They went to the AFC Championship the year after. But last season, he was hurt. Their backup, Browning, did pretty good for the most part. And I'm going to give the edge to the Bengals, although I really don't think they're going to be as exciting as they have been. I honestly don't think Joe Burrow's going to not only make it to another Super Bowl, but not win a Super Bowl. I honestly don't think it's there. Patrick Mahomes is in the league. There's other teams in the AFC that are going to be more dominant, I believe, like the Texans and the Dolphins. I just don't think the Bengals have what it takes. Although I do appreciate the effort that they've done, I'm talking more about their legacy, but in this game, I just think the Bengals are the more well-rounded team. Jacoby Brissett, a quarterback that I've liked, he's going to start for the Patriots, but I don't think it's going to be enough to overcome the Bengals. Next, we got the Texans and the Colts, a rematch of a game last season that decided the AFC South winner. And it's going to be the Texans. They're the more well-rounded team. CJ Stroud, he was unbelievable last season. He's going to be very fun to watch. He's going to be one of the more dominant quarterbacks this season, I believe. Who are the Colts starting quarterback? Anthony Richardson. I don't think he's going to be super dominant this year. He was injured last season. It might take him a while to get back to it, although he was pretty fun to watch last season until he got injured. I think this is going to be a very fun game because Gardner Minshew last season for the Colts, he did enough to almost get them to the playoffs. I like him as a quarterback. He's for the Raiders now. He's our starting quarterback. We'll see what he does there. But back to the Colts. It's going to be a fun game, I think. I really think it's going to be close, but the Texans are the more well-rounded team. I'm going to give this to CJ Stroud and the Texans. Then we got another really fun game. The Jaguars at the Dolphins. This is going to be the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are going to blow them out. I think it's going to be fun. It might be close, but I think the Dolphins, that offense is just too explosive. The Jaguars, they were a team that they had a pretty good start last season. Then they whimpered out in the second half, missed the playoffs. Trevor Lawrence, I don't know if he's going to live up to that hype that he's had going into college. He had to pass the first season because of whoever the hell his name was. I can't remember, their awful coach. But they haven't been super impressive to me, even when they were good, even when they overcame that large deficit in the playoff game against the Chargers, which was super funny, by the way. Thank you for that from 2 years ago. But the Dolphins, man, they're just so fun to watch. Tua Tagovailoa, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Achane, Mostert. That is a very explosive offense. I really am hoping for them to win the division this season. So the Dolphins are going to win this game. Then we got the Panthers at the Saints. Now, let's talk a little history. Derek Carr. I'm a big Derek Carr supporter. He gave me hope for 9 seasons as a Raider fan, although Josh McDaniels ruined it all. Used him as a scapegoat to, say, hey, I want my team the way it should be. And then Josh McDaniels had his team the way it should be. Didn't work out because he's a bad head coach. So I watched almost every Saints game last season, and I can say that there was bad offensive play calling, and you can tell when Derek Carr, called the shots. They had quick 3-play touchdown drives. It was cool to see. And they had a winning season last year, 9-8. The Panthers only had 2 wins last season. Somehow they had 2 wins, but they did not come against the Saints. Derek Carr has never lost a game to the Panthers, both on the Raiders and as a Saints player. So not just because of that, but just because I don't think Bryce Young is a good quarterback. He might be better than last season. We'll see. But the Saints defense is pretty good. That offense can be explosive at times. The Panthers don't do anything to excite me. So it's going to be the Saints. I think the Saints will do just enough to win, just because they were struggling last season. They had a few games they should have won. They should have beat the Jaguars. They should have beat the Packers. And if they had won at least those 2 games, then they could have made the playoffs. They could have won division. They just had some stupid shit happen. They just had some shit luck. It sucks to say. They went 9-8 last season. I'm really hoping they can either do the same thing or do just enough to get into the playoffs so Derek Carr can win a playoff game finally. But I think they're going to do just enough to beat the Panthers, just because I want to see what this offense can do. I want to see Derek Carr light the league up this year. Will it happen? I'm not sure. They had a cakewalk of a schedule last season. They kind of messed it up. And this season, it's going to be a little more tough, especially since they play the Chiefs. But we'll see. I'm giving the win to the Saints, though. Then we got the Vikings at the Giants. J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback that the Vikings drafted, he's out for the season. So Sam Darnold's up to take hold of the quarterback position. And Sam Darnold, he's had some flashes of being good. He's had some okay moments throughout his career, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think that Daniel Jones is going to have an okay game. He's another quarterback that I don't think is that good. He had that one good season, but since then, he just hasn't been, good. He hasn't been impressive. He's either been just okay or bad. He doesn't excite me as a quarterback, but I think they're going to do just enough to beat that struggling Vikings team. They don't have the quarterback that they wanted this whole time. I don't know. The Vikings don't excite me. The Giants don't excite me either, but we'll see. I think it's going to be a very sloppy and boring game. It's one of the games that I'm not really excited about for week 1, but I'm going to give the win to the Giants. Then we got the Raiders with their home game against the Chargers. I say that, of course, because they're playing in Los Angeles. This is going to be a fun game. I'm excited for it because I want to see what Antonio Pierce can do as a head coach. He was the interim head coach after they fired Josh McDaniels. He had a winning record. And Jim Harbaugh's coming in to coach again in the NFL. It's been, 10 years since he was a coach last in the NFL. But I don't know. That defense for the Raiders, it's so damn cool it's so damn fun to watch. They were really one of the best defenses in the second half of the season last year. They were so fun to watch. Max Crosby, we got Wilkins from the Dolphins. It just sucks that once the Raiders finally get a good defense, Derek Carr's out of the picture. But you know what? We got Gardner Minshew as a quarterback. I think he's going to do just enough to get us that win over the Chargers. The Chargers are a cursed quarterback. The Chargers are a cursed team. I don't think that Jim Harbaugh is going to be the answer. I think he's going to be a good coach, but for his welcome back to the NFL, I think the Raiders are going to smack him up pretty good. I think Gardner Minshew is going to do just enough. I like Aiden O'Connell, but I'd rather not him get rambled up. I'd rather not him get, shaken up in the NFL too early on. I think we're going to develop Aiden O'Connell into our starting quarterback later on because he did enough to win us some games last season. I don't think this is going to be a blowout like the 63 to 21 that it was last season. I don't think it's going to be that big of a game, but I think it's going to be fun. Although I do remember 2 years ago, we lost to the Chargers opening day. Derek Carr threw 3 interceptions, but this is a different team. This might be the one game we beat the Chargers at this season, just because it seems to go that way. We beat them, and then we lose to them. 1-1. But I do think this is going to be a fun game to watch. I'm really excited for it. That Raiders defense is just so damn good. And Justin Herbert, I haven't talked about the Chargers a lot. I like Justin Herbert as a quarterback. I think he's so damn fun to watch. He's a gunslinger. He's the only reason the Chargers aren't as bad as they could be, I think. They've had the talent around him, but they just can't overcome this slump. They just can't be the team that they could be. I think it's just because they have that Chargers name to them. I think they're cursed. So, I like Justin Herbert. I hope he goes to a better team one year. But as of now, Raiders going to win this game. They better. Then we got Broncos against the Seahawks. It's funny, that trade, Russell Wilson goes to the Broncos. And then, who the hell's the quarterback for the Seahawks? Can't remember. It was a bust. Then he didn't write them back. Geno Smith. Yeah, it's Geno Smith. That's right. So, I think the Broncos are going to actually win this game. I do think the Seahawks are a pretty good team, but the Broncos are just kind of solid. I think Bo Nix is going to have a pretty good debut. I don't have a whole lot to say. I don't follow these teams much. I'm just going to go with my gut and say the Broncos are going to upset the Seahawks, even though the Seahawks are a more well-rounded team to me. I just think something's going to happen and the Broncos are going to have a pretty good debut with Bo Nix. I think the Broncos have a good defense too. That's been one of their, saving graces, but oh well. Then we got the Cowboys at the Browns. And I think it's going to be pretty simple. Cowboys. Deshaun Watson, he had a winning record last season, 5-1, but he was injured. Then Joe Flacco came back, became elite again. I know that joke with being elite and Joe Flacco. But the Cowboys, they're always pretty good in regular season. They were the 2 seed in the NFC last season. The Browns are a very surprising team, especially with Joe Flacco, but it's Deshaun Watson again. And just Deshaun Watson hasn't been a good quarterback since, 2019? And the Browns signed him to this ridiculous contract or whatever. They're not going to get out of it. They're going to play him until they can cut him because he has not provided anything good for the Browns. And I honestly think that is going to be what fails them this game and this season. Deshaun Watson as the quarterback. And the Cowboys, they're just a solid team all around. I hate to say it. I hate the Cowboys, but you know what? You got to admit, they can win some games. It's just that once the playoffs come, then we can laugh at them. Or, the joke being that the Cowboys, they can only beat the bad teams, and when they play the good teams, they lose. It's kind of funny to say that, but, they're a good team. Although I will remember that 2021 Thanksgiving game where the Raiders beat the Cowboys. That was pretty funny. But the Cowboys are going to win this game. Then we move on to the Washington Commanders at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks, I like Baker Mayfield as a quarterback. Mike Evans, he's going to have another 1,000-yard season just because that's the way it goes. Chiefs win a Super Bowl. Mike Evans has a 1,000-yard season. I like Baker Mayfield as a quarterback. He's pretty fun. I've always liked him as a quarterback. He's fun to watch. He struggled after going to, what was it? The Panthers? I don't remember where Baker went to after. Then he went to the Rams, beat the Raiders after only being on the team for 2 days. What the hell? Josh McDaniels is a butthole. But he had a pretty solid year as a Buccaneer. They won the division, went to the playoffs. They bitch slapped the Eagles in the divisional round. The wild card. That was pretty funny to watch. But they're the more well-rounded team. Jaden Daniels, I think that's the Washington Commanders quarterback. I haven't seen much of him, but apparently he's their new franchise quarterback. He's going to lead them to, good things. I thought Sam Howell did his best with what he was given last season. I don't follow the Commanders enough, but I just think the Bucs are a more well-rounded team. I think they're a more solid team. Then we got Sunday. No, that's not Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday Night Football. The Rams at the Lions. What a weird choice for Sunday Night Football. They could have chose something more exciting. Anyways, Lions. They have a more fun team to watch, I think. I do like Nakua, and I do like Kupp and Stafford. Since he won that Super Bowl, he's been regarded as a better quarterback. I've always liked Matt Stafford, but the Lions, man, they're so damn fun to watch. That defense can be really destructive. They can be really fun. Jared Goff, he's made a name for himself as a pretty solid quarterback after leaving the Rams. Had one struggling season with the Lions. But Dan Campbell, he's a very fun coach to watch. I love all the fun plays they do. That offense is really cool. I just think there's more expectations for the Lions going into this season because they were so close to making the Super Bowl. They should have. I don't think they should have lost to the Niners. That was bullshit. I hated it. They were up. Oh well. But it's harder to get back. I just want the Lions to go back because I think it would be so fun. Super Bowl last year should have been Ravens-Lions, but oh well. Hopefully we'll get it this season. And yeah, Lions are going to win this game. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. It's going to be a great debut. Yeah. Then we got Monday Night Football. The Jets at the 49ers. Now, Monday Night Football last season was the Jets and the Bills. So Monday Night Football last season was the Jets and the Bills. It's supposed to be the big opening. It's supposed to be the big entrance for Aaron Rodgers. Then 4 snaps and he tears his Achilles. It was awful. Like I made a tweet and I said it happened during the offseason of last season. I said I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a good season with the Jets. I honestly just can't see it. I think I jinxed it. I feel bad about it. But they won games at least with Zach Wilson as their quarterback. And it sucks because he was just thrown into it. He didn't do as good, and I think they shipped him off somewhere else. But that defense is pretty solid. It's pretty damn good. Their defense keeps them in games. But the Niners, man, they're just too damn good. That defense is pretty good. Their offensive line, really damn good. They re-signed Trent Williams. And they have Christian McCaffrey. I'm not sure if he's going to play. I saw that he was questionable. But regardless if they don't have McCaffrey, they still got Deebo Samuels. They still got Brandon Ayuk. They re-signed Ayuk. That's good. And Brock Purdy. He's a pretty solid quarterback. I hate to admit it, but he is. But I do think it's mainly because he's in that very fortunate situation with Kyle Shanahan, and he has those explosive weapons. I still hate that the Panthers had to trade away Christian McCaffrey, and they're the whole reason why the Niners are so damn good too. Screw you, Panthers. But anyways, I don't think that Aaron Rodgers is going to do enough to win this game. He's been out for an entire season, and he wasn't that good that season that Davante Adams left. He did his best. I'll admit it. He did solid. He did okay, but the year before was so much better. And I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening this season. And everyone's glazing the Jets. Oh, they're going to go to the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers is back. Oh, that defense is so good. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. No. I'm saying it right here, right now. 5 September 2024. The Jets are not going to the Super Bowl. And they are not going to win the division. I'm sorry. Aaron Rodgers, you've had your run. I think he's going to do good this season, but I just think there's too many explosive teams in the AFC that are up and coming that are going to want to destroy the Jets. I think it'll be a fun game to watch. I really want to be wrong, okay? I really want to be wrong about Aaron Rodgers because he was always one of my favorite quarterbacks growing up. I always thought he was so damn fun to watch. But I don't know. I don't see it. I want to be proven wrong so damn bad. I really want the Jets to win because I hate the Niners. You know, I'm a Raider fan. But I just can't see it. The Niners are too damn explosive. So I'm going to give the win to the Niners. But I really want the Jets to prove me wrong. And that's going to do it for my Week 1 predictions. We'll see how this goes. What I want to do for this 2024 NFL season is make a weekly predictions video. I'm not going to do a review like other channels like Urinating Tree or Barry McCockiner does to NFL or sports YouTubers that I like watching. I also like watching Brandon Perna and Tom Grassi. Those are like the 4 sports YouTube channels that I like watching. They're really funny. But I'm not going to do weekly reviews like they do. It'd be nice if I could do weekly Raider reviews. That might be fun. But I just want to do prediction videos. I think it'll be fun. It'll be a good way for me to, just do something. So, what do you think about these predictions? Are you going to follow me throughout this season? And if you want, go check out those for the YouTubers. They do pretty good commentary on the NFL season and other sports like basketball, hockey, baseball, what have you. So that'll be it. I'll see you next week with an update. I'll keep you along with my record. I'll go by it as I do with the Pick'ems League on the ESPN Fantasy app. And yeah, we'll do that. Hopefully there's no ties because I don't know how that goes. So anyways, bye.